Get good. I am the gamer under development, and this is Legends of Runeterra. We've got a new deck tech for you this week. I like to call this deck In the Shadows. The idea here is to combine hand buffing and deck buffing with Zed, who basically doubles himself based on his stats. He gets another shadow that has the same exact stats. So what we're going to be doing is utilizing cards like Inspiring Mentor, which grants an ally in your hand +1/+0, Omen Hawk, which grants the top 2 allies in your deck +1/+1, Key Guardian, which gives a barrier to an ally in your hand, lets you draw a card. We've also got Recall in here. That's primarily just to protect Zed and allow us to keep him in our hand, or to bring back one of our hand buff cards so that we can play it again. Relatively cheap, just 1 mana there. Navori Conspirator. When we play Navori Conspirator, not only do we get an elusive unit, we also get to put a card back into our hand, such as Inspiring Mentor or Omen Hawk. I think you can kind of see the theme here. We're basically playing them, we're bouncing them back, we're playing them again, and the whole time we're increasing the stats of the cards that are in our hand and in our deck, hence the In the Shadows title. We've got Sown Seeds, grants all allies in hand +1/+0. Starlit Seer, whenever you cast a spell, grant the top ally in your deck +1/+1. We've got Braum in here at the 3 mana slot, mainly because of his challenger, so he can pull threats to block him, and that allows Zed to get through and Zed Shadow Clone to get through. We've got Flash Freeze here, which will frostbite an enemy. Once again, we're just trying to protect Zed once he does get on the table. Greenglade Elder, when I'm summoned, grant allies in hand +1/+1. We can bounce him back, play him again. You're starting to see that theme loop, right? Solitary Monk, when I'm summoned, recall all other allies to hand. That'll let us pick up all of our hand and deck buff minions, play them again, which is really useful. And then Zed, when I attack, create a living shadow with my stats. Now this is important. So if we buff him up, let's say we get him up to being a 7/5 or something, and then we play him and swing, he makes another 7/5. Now if he hits twice, him or his shadow hits twice on the enemy nexus, then he levels up, and not only do they become equal to him with stats, they also gain keywords. So they'll gain his quick attack here, but beyond his quick attack, they'll also gain something more important, which we'll get to later. For example, they'll gain barrier off of things like Key Guardian, but we're not quite to that part yet. Avarosan Outrider has Allegiance, so when we play it, if the top card of our deck happens to be from Freljord, then it gets +3/+3 in Overwhelm. My mistake, it grants the top card +3/+3 in Overwhelm if it's from Freljord, so that's helping us kind of finish out if we do have a Freljord card out. If that hits a Braum, for example, then he comes in as a 3/8, which is just nuts. 3/8 Braum, pretty strong. We can do things with that. Now here's where the Zed level 2 gets interesting. With Shen out, whenever you give a supported ally, or whenever he is next to an ally, they gain barrier, so Zed and his Shadow Clone would then gain barrier, but what's really good is if we get Shen up to level 2, Zed and his Shadow Clone gain barrier and +3/+0 for that round. So basically what we're doing is we're using hand buffing and deck buffing, and then we're using different cards with Zed to multiply the benefit gained from those buffs. And then we've got Avaros and Hearthguard, rounding out our curve here at 5 mana. When I'm summoned, grant allies in your deck +1/+1, so once again we're powering up the deck. We look at our curve here, pretty solid. It is not a long curve. We don't have a lot of high-end cards. That's not the point. The idea here is to basically pump up everything in our deck that is cheap, and that means that we'd rather have lower-end cards and be able to play multiples of them every turn. So here we go. We're going to take this into play against real people and see how it does. I haven't actually played this against real people. I actually built this yesterday as a deck to finish my daily quests and ended up enjoying it so much I figured, why don't we tune it up a little bit and try it out against real people. So this is going to be Ashe and Fiora versus Braum, Zed, and Shen here. Oh, and that is a beautiful hand to start with. Just look at that. That's amazing. I will keep this. It is great. I am sold. We could potentially put Shen out as a 5/5 on turn 4 with this hand. It's kind of crazy. So they sent cards back, we did not. Oh, we got an Omen Hawk here as well. So the question is, do we want to play the Inspiring Mentor first or the Omen Hawk? I feel like the Omen Hawk makes more sense because there's more cards in our deck right now. So we'll go with the Omen Hawk here. See if they drop a 1-drop. If they don't, then we're obviously going to go in for 1 damage. Very, very nice there. Nice, simple, and clean. Ending our turn, and here they come at 2 mana. Oh, and now we get the Navori Conspirator, which does have the +1/+1 from the Omen Hawk. So this is intriguing here because there are a couple different options that we can go with at this particular moment, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to Inspiring Mentor and we're gonna put the +1 on Navori Conspirator here. Because he's elusive, he will allow us to get in damage pretty concisely, and this also gives us the opportunity to block the 3-1 Iceveil Archer without losing an elusive unit. This is a fine trade for us. We're trading 1 power for 3. Totally okay with that. And then if we really want to, we can also do this. Let's just put it on the Navori Conspirator. So basically, we're going a little bit in on our Navori Conspirator right here, but if he can keep hitting for 5 turn after turn and they don't have anything to kill him, they could potentially frostbite him, but they probably won't be able to flat out kill him. That's very strong. That's very, very strong. What we're gonna do is we're gonna scoop up our Omen Hawk here when we play the Conspirator, so that we can then replay the Omen Hawk and get value out of that again by giving +1/+1 to the top 2 cards in the deck. Okay, that doesn't bother us too much until next turn when he tries to use that to kill the Navori Conspirator, which is fine. I mean, we may not be able to do anything about it at that point, but I'm kind of fine with that. We're still gonna get 5 damage here before he can kill it, which is a huge, huge boost for us. And we didn't really lose anything by doing that either. Now we've got our Omen Hawk, gonna get another +1/+1 to the top 2 cards in the deck. Nice little hand buff loop going on right here, and we do still have Shen. Oh, that's too good. That's too good. So here's what's gonna happen. He's gonna pull this off the bench. We're gonna frostbite his thing so it doesn't kill us. Oh, this is too good, guys. This is too good. Are you ready? This is gonna be hilarious. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. I'll take the 2 from this, I don't really care. What? Are you okay? I'm extremely confused by that decision. Like, extremely confused by that decision. But I'll accept that, I guess. That's nonsense? Pure nonsense. I have no reason why that made sense for him to do. I'll put Shen down here because we can. They don't have any mana to do anything about him, and that means we can get his shield, or his barriers running immediately next turn. Oh, that's lovely. So with the Kinku Wayfinder, if we get Allegiance, we'll summon 2 1-cost allies from our deck, so that could mean getting another Omen Hawk, it could mean getting another one of our tutors that died. Let's go for... Honestly here, though, I think we just go like this. We just go in with everything and see how they block. They just surrendered. Okay. Well, I guess our first game went very, very well. I mean, we did kind of win due to the elusive plan there, which wasn't actually part of the plan. The main reason that card's in there is just to bounce stuff back to our hand, but you can see how the hand buffing works, right? Like, it is a very, very powerful gameplay loop. Oh, nice. Our vault went up from that, which is great. We're gonna try another one, of course, because that was only a few minutes. Very much enjoying this deck, so this is a fun little theme. I didn't expect that to go that smoothly. If I'm being 100% honest, I actually thought that was going to go kind of rough, but it went very, very smoothly. I don't regret not buffing the Shen. My initial thought was buff the Shen. Oh, this will be interesting. This is Zed and Hecarim. Zed and Hecarim are interesting because they both summon ephemeral allies, so this is likely an ephemeral-themed deck. Ooh, I like this hand. I'm going to send back the Avarosan Outriders, though, because we don't really want 2 4s early. I'm keeping Braum because he's great, I'm keeping Shen because he's great, and the Omen Hawk is a perfect opener for our deck. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Just look at that. Okay, so... Omen Hawk seems like a really good play here, but so does Inspiring Mentor, and we have to consider whatever we play we're probably chump blocking the Shadow Fiend with so that it'll die. I think what we'll do is we'll go with Omen Hawk here, once again because the most cards are in our deck, which means that we can kind of give value to whatever's coming up next. Let's go ahead and block here. I do want to get the Inspiring Mentor down before we play Braum, though. Giving Braum 1 damage is a big step towards making him an actual threat, especially since we're not playing... I can't remember the name of the card, but the card that gives +3/+3 when they're damaged is not in this deck. So we don't really want to rely on that. Gonna go ahead and give Braum +1/+0 with the Inspiring Mentor here so that he has a little bit of damage. And we'll also throw down our new 2/2 Omen Hawk, which got buffed by the previous Omen Hawk. And then we'll come in for 3. Seems like a good way to start the game. And then once that gets around to our next turn, we can put down our 1/5 Braum, and he does have Challenger, which is going to be very strong. Oh, or even better. Okay, so now they've got Zed, and this is when things are going to get very interesting. Mainly because I do actually have a plan for how to deal with him. We're gonna put down the Navori Conspirator, and we're gonna pop up this guy. And the reason we're doing that is because we're gonna give Braum a second damage here, which will allow us to pull Zed off the bench and kill Zed with Braum next turn. I can't believe he's not going in here. I would have gone in. Oh, I guess if I block with the Navori Conspirator, Zed dies. That's a fair point. It's also unfortunately fair that... Oh, and we'll get Braum's Take Heart as well. That's really strong. This is not going to be a fun game for him unless he has a trick up his sleeve right here. If he doesn't have a trick like a combat trick, this is going to be a very bad game for him. This is going to be a very bad game for him. Yeah, we're just going to go like this. Braum should easily kill Zed here unless he's got a trick. He does have 4 mana left, so he could easily have a trick up his sleeve. Does not. This is going to get so much... Oh, wait, we don't have the mana for Braum's Take Heart, or this would have gotten so much worse right there. They are going to kill Braum here. I'm fine with that. That's really not a big deal. Braum is not the core of our deck. He's just sort of a support card. And we have another Braum. So, I mean, okay. End of the world? Not quite. Not quite. We do have a 4 damage elusive unit out now, and we've got another hand buffer to make Braum have damage, so not really that upset. Do we just do this? I think we just do this, because it's probably going to frustrate him to see Braum come back down. Like, that's an honest thing. If I saw Braum come back down right here, I would get kind of frustrated. I'll just... Well, I mean, if we don't block here, then what's going to end up happening is we're going to... potentially get blocked next turn anyway. No, we're not. I'll take it. I'll take the 2, keep our elusive unit healthy, put down my Braum that has 2 attack, and we'll just pull the elusive off the bench and make it block Braum next turn. So this deck is ending up being a lot more elusive than it is Zed. My bad, guys. My bad. I legit wasn't trying for that. I was trying to make Zed super awesome, and instead we ended up with this. Actually, we could make this even more interesting. No, I'm not going to get greedy here. So if I was greedy, I could put down Shen and then have Shen barrier Braum. But I feel like that's being really greedy. They do have a lot of mana left. They have Shadow Isle, so they have a lot they can do with that mana. I think I would rather just go in. So we'll just go in like this. Kill the elusive unit, get 4 damage with our elusive. What I'd rather do is drop Shen at the end of their turn so that we know that he's on the board and ready to go, and we don't have to give them a chance to counterplay. Okay, that's a choice. That's a good choice, actually. That's a very good choice. So they're gonna get 2 cards here, which is actually pretty good for them. Card advantage is very, very nice. But I do feel like they're a little bit far behind for card advantage to make much difference. We're gonna play our Kinku Wayfinder here just because we have so much mana in our pool that we don't want to leave wasted. Oh, we didn't have room for those guys to come out, though. Did that actually discard them, then? Or no? I'm actually curious about that. I hope it didn't discard them, because that's kind of not great. Yeah, we can Key Guardian our Shen so that he comes in with a barrier so we can draw another Key Guardian. Alright, I'm good with that. I kind of want them to swing in with this. They kind of have to. He's got Ephemeral, he can't block. Just send him in. Send him in so that we can chump something out if we're able to... Oh, that's crafty right there. I mean, okay. That's fine. Swap the Death Marks. If they come in with him, we'll just block him with Braum since Braum's gonna die anyway. And that'll open up a slot for us to put Shen down. Coming in, or... You just gonna let Braum die? I'm fine with you just letting Braum die, by the way. Okay, they're definitely gonna come in this turn. They kind of have to now. Come on. Swing, swing, swing. Alright, fine with this. We're gonna go here, we're gonna go here. And what we'll probably do is... just keep our Omen Hawk? Yeah, that's fine. Bye-bye. Come on. Unless you got a trick up your sleeve, that's it for this combat. Come on. Oh, they're gonna draw 2 off of him. That's actually fine, though. We basically just made them waste that card, I guess. I mean, they do get to draw 2. Hand advantage is definitely gonna be in their favor, but we have such a big board advantage right now that I don't feel like it matters that much. Especially not now that Shen is down on the board. We are going to waste his barrier this turn, but that's really not that big of a deal. I'd rather have him out for the element of surprise, and they have surrendered. Okay, so this deck is doing pretty good. This hand buff, deck buff thing is very, very strong, and I'm digging it a lot, guys. This is, wow. I was not expecting this to roll the way that it's rolling. I think that this is probably the second, well, I can't say second most. This might actually be the most successful deck that we've played so far. I'm kind of caught up in between this and Yasuo. The number one stunner deck was one of my favorites. That thing did really, really well, and I just like playing Yasuo. This one is great too, though. This one is doing way better than I expected it to do. I thought this was kind of going to be jank. Like, I actually had to build a second Shen because I only had one when I built it to finish the quest. But I wanted to have two for this. Oh, hello there. I guess we're playing no heroes against... Oh, interesting. So this is a Noxia and Piltover Jinx deck. Could be cool. Oof. Do we keep or do we toss? I'll keep it. I'll keep it. This is good. We have Inspiring Mentor to start. That's always a nice start for us. Avaros and Outrider is also a nice pickup here. I think we'll do Inspiring Mentor and target Shen. The main reason for that is because it's just going to give Shen a little more power. Putting it on the Avaros and Outrider doesn't make a ton of sense anyway. It does have Overwhelm, so we would have potentially got some extra damage, but I'd like to power Shen up to make him more of a damage threat. And a nice pickup on turn 2 is Navori Conspirator, so that we can go ahead and bounce our Inspiring Mentor back and get some more play out of that. I did not attack on turn 1. That was a mistake. Okay, so they got the Boom Crew Rookie going down now. Interesting. He's actually kind of a tough nut to crack, so to speak. The question is, how do we want to go at him? And I think the answer here is this. I'm going to put a barrier on the Conspirator. And just let him come in. We'll take 3 from him coming in, but there's really no better way for us to deal with that. Next turn will be turn 3, so I think what we'll want to do is just put our Navori Conspirator down and then go in for 2 damage. I can't believe I missed that 1 damage on the first turn. To be honest, I think that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Ouch, that's actually kind of a painful thing. We can block him here, though, and only take 2, so I'm fine with that. We're going to bounce this guy back anyway, so we'll take the 2, make the block, whittle him down just a little bit, and then we're going to Navori Conspirator at the beginning of our next turn, unless we top deck into something better. That is arguably better, but I still like the idea of doing the Navori Conspirator here. Okay, so we've got barrier on this, so even if they have like a damage ability, it's not going to do much except for strip that barrier off. Oh, another Boom Crew Rookie. Okay, so this is an interesting deck that we're starting to see come together here. Shen will go down with 4 attack power next turn, so he can one-hit one of these Boom Crew Rookies, which is nice. And then we'll go ahead and swing in with our Elusive unit. Not going to go in with our Inspiring Mentor here, because, well, I mean, I guess we could have. It wouldn't have created any negative trades for us, but it also wouldn't necessarily have created a positive one, because then we couldn't block with him next turn. Without losing him, that is. And we'd rather hold on to him than we would lose him. Here comes a Jinx. That's a very interesting situation for us to have to deal with here. And I think that what our best bet is going to be is probably just to put down something that will survive and kill Jinx, which is going to be Shen.
I walk this space between worlds.
So now if they come in with Jinx, we block with Shen, Jinx dies, so they're not going to want to come in with Jinx. They may still come in with the Boom Crew Rookies. I would do that if I was them. Oh. Okay, so this just got a lot more interesting. We'll go for the block there. We're gonna go for the block everywhere. We're still gonna take 4 damage because of the Boom Crew Rookies. This is actually really interesting. I haven't seen these guys played in this kind of volume before. Oh, well done there, well done there. Okay, so we did manage to block the 6 damage from Jinx, but we're not gonna kill her here. That was well played on their part. Thankfully, we have the Kinku Wayfinder to get ourselves some more blockers relatively quickly here, which is going to be kind of important at the moment. So what I think we're going to do, we do still need to worry about Jinx. Jinx is a problem. And now she's got 6 attacks, so she's even harder for us to kill. I guess we Kinku Wayfinder first. Did not get the allegiance trigger. That's painful. That's actually really, really painful. So let's go ahead and buff our Avaros and Outrider here. Seems good. Even though she has quick attack, she still has to like not be blocked to do her damage, so she's not that big of a threat. If they empty their hand, she becomes a much bigger threat, but as of right now, she's not a very big threat. And because they've got that 6 damage on her, we do want to keep as many units as we can on the board, so we're not going to swing in. What we will do next, or this round, is probably Greenglade Elder into the Sown Seeds here, and then we've got 3 Avaros and Outriders ready to go. Okay, this is a fair trade. Give the other battling allies +1/+0 this round. That's actually really problematic, so we're going to want to kill him as quickly as possible. Oh boy, what are they doing? If these are like multiple Get Exciteds, we're kind of in trouble here. Oh wow. That's a way to clear the board. The good news is we're still considered blocking if we put our blockers out, so that's what we're gonna do. Ouch. This is a lot of damage, though. Is there like an applauds emoji? There, that's the one I want. That is the proper emoji. That was really well played by them. Let's go ahead and go Greenglade Elder. Let's go ahead and play Sown Seeds here to give our Avaros and Outriders even more damage. Now, I think that we will not quite have enough to play 2 Avaros and Outriders next turn, which is unfortunate. We'll be just shy of that. So we'll play 1 Avaros and Outrider here. Do we go in with the Avaros and Outrider? I think we do here. Because realistically, the worst block for us is if they block with Jinx. That's the only thing that'll really kill him. And it's not that bad of a block for us, realistically. Like, if they block with Jinx, she's dead. Okay, so they're going to block with this thing, which is going to deal 1 damage to each Nexus when it dies. If they go straight in next turn, I don't know if we survive that. I think we lose for sure. Mainly because of these Boom Crew rookies. They're very, very strong, actually. We don't have a lot of removal in this deck. This is kind of the perfect antithesis to our deck. So, I mean, realistically, though, having the good games we had coming into this and then having this game isn't that bad of a thing. I think it's kind of okay that we lose here. And we're just losing by 1 here. If we had any way to prevent 1 more damage, we would be able to double Avaros and Outriders, and then we could come in for a lot more damage next turn, potentially even things up. Yup. Nothing to be done there. That is a good game. Let's go ahead and give them the Shem emoji. Salute to you. Oh, and there they go. They had that anyway, so yeah. Well played, well played. Very interesting deck. These Boom Crew rookies are really, really strong for whittling down. And they're taking advantage of all the other things that kind of whittle down within Piltover as well, which is really nice, like the Caustic Casts and stuff. Very impressive deck. I think that's actually a really, really interesting, cool build. I've never seen this before, that's one thing I'll say, which makes it very interesting to me, because it's like maybe an emerging archetype. Very, very cool. And we've probably got time for 1 more deck. Cat, can you stop going crazy in the background, please? Okay, so 1 more game. That was really cool, though. I'm actually really impressed with that deck. Now that's something I may have to check out. So basically what they did there was they used the Boom Crew rookies to deal a bunch of damage over the early phases of the game. And it is a lot of damage because they have a ton of health, so they're hard to kill. And as they're getting that damage built up, it basically makes it so that when they hit the end game, they can close. The only thing that I'm really surprised about there is that there was no Darius in the deck. I would have expected a Darius in that deck to be the closer, but I wonder if they found that Darius ended up being overkill most times and just being expensive for no reason, because they did have a ton of targeted kill cards in the deck as well. I'm actually surprised we didn't see those come out a little bit sooner. We don't need recall on our starting turn. We don't need flash freeze. Kinku Wayfinder is a little spendy here. Navori Conspirator is okay, but if we don't have anything to recall with him, it's not great. I'm going to throw those 3 back, though, and hold the Conspirator and hope for a better draw. Ouch. That's not a good draw. Not a good... Oh, gosh. Not a good draw at all. We can't actually play a minion until turn 3 right now. This is not a good draw for us in any way, shape, or form. I probably should have thrown the Conspirator back, but we did draw this, so even if we had thrown that back, we still wouldn't have gotten our 1-drop. There we go. That's what we needed. That makes this whole deck much better, just getting that 1-drop. I feel like here we definitely want to go for Zed. Yeah, we're gonna buff Zed. This will be the first time we really get to see Zed go cray. If we do, like, they're in Shadow Isles and Noxus, they'll have plenty of kill spells to potentially take Zed out. However, their earliest kill spell does require them to lose a minion first. So maybe Zed or his Shadow will actually get in for 1 hit before they're able to do their business.
Sweet. It'll be over soon.
Not gonna go in here with Elise on the board, she'll just block and kill us. We will not be able to block her right now, which is also kind of unfortunate. But once again, it's not the end of the world here. Ooh, so many options here. We can Omen Hawk, and then I think we'll Omen Hawk and Navori Conspirator. Ooh, that's trouble. That's trouble, trouble, trouble. We'll probably just use the Omen Hawk to chump block right here. And we'll use our Navori Conspirator to pick up the Inspiring Mentor so that we can buff Zed again. And then next turn we'll put Zed down with that huge amount of damage and quick attack and be like, sup. Block here, block here. This is actually great. We can essentially trade 1 health for the block here, and then put it back in our hand anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's just really nice. And next turn, they will have to choose between attacking Zed, or rather, they'll have to choose between dealing with Zed or dealing with our Navori Conspirator, so having that elusive unit is very nice for that, basically, false target. Gonna go ahead and buff Zed here. Now, if they make a mistake and they play out their mana right here, it's really gonna set us up good with Zed. But I don't know if they'll do that. If they sit on their mana, they've probably got something in their hand and they're waiting. Which means that we should be a little bit careful here. How much is the Shadow Shift spell? Shadow Shift spell is 3 mana, so if we play Zed, we won't have the mana to do the spell, so that's kind of just what it is. Okay, so they did play out most of their mana, which means we're relatively safe to slam Zed like this. And now we've got 5 damage times 2 coming in, and they've got to block it or they're going to eat 10. Now what they'll probably do is block with this guy and nothing else, if I had to guess. Oh, and that now. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Yep, called it. The nice thing here is that we do have Zed Shadow Shift, so we can actually kill Elise next turn by blocking with Zed and then Shadow Shifting him back to the hand if we want to. The problem with that is that if Zed goes back to our hand, he actually loses those buffs, so he won't be as strong anymore, which is kind of sad. Like, it's not necessarily something I want to do here, but it's something that we can do if we need to. I'd actually rather play this Navori Conspirator and put that in front of Elise while picking up our Inspiring Mentor so we do have some more hand buffing, and they gave me the opportunity to do it by doing that. If they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have the ability to do what I'm about to do. Which means thank you. Thank you for making that play, because you just made our lives a lot easier. What's more is I can actually put the Navori Conspirator in front of Elise and then do the Zed Shadow Shift. Okay, this is actually fine. This is actually fine. Ooh, this is actually tough, though. And here's why. So we can trade here, and I'm fine with that. We can... Let's do this.
Oh, that's sneaky.
Let's do this. They have no mana, so they can't actually do anything about what I'm doing here. The question is, do we want to put Zed at 1 health by blocking there? And I think the answer is not really. Yeah, so we'll Shadow Shift here. It'll put a Zed back into our deck. It'll also give us back the Navori Conspirator and set up a Living Shadow to kill the big boy here. And we'll take a little bit of damage for sure, but we also have Zed on the board ready to do 10 damage next turn, and there's really no recourse they have for that. We'll go ahead and Omen Hawk here, so we put some more damage on the board. And then we'll probably throw down Inspiring Mentor as well. Take maximum advantage of our mana here. And we'll put that on the Navori Conspirator. We do have Greenglade Elder here still. We do have Solitary Monk here still. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to go for those right away here, though. I feel like Navori Conspirator here is a good play just because it's going to give us more damage. The question is, do we want to do... Let's do this. Let's go Greenglade Elder. We're going to essentially give them the chance to play some cards. That's basically what we're doing here by trying to combo up a little bit. But the good news is, if we combo up right, this should work out relatively well for us. It should basically just mean that we have more power on board, and it's more risky for them not to block us. Because we're down by 10 health right now, so we really need to make up some damage here. That's a problem. That is a problem. See, if I'd have just gone in, then we wouldn't have to worry about that, so... Kind of paid the price here a little bit for trying to board up more. But the good news is we'll get guaranteed damage by boarding up, so it's kind of okay.
There's always a way out.
So now we've got our 4 damage Navori Conspirator down, and we also have an Omen Hawk to play again. We'll probably just go in with our Navori Conspirator here, since Zed is basically frozen and we can't do anything with him because of that stun. It is going to give us 4 damage. It is going to give us a blocker that has 4 attack next turn to help us with Menace, because Menace is a problem in this deck. We have bigger problems here in that if we block these 2 guys, it actually makes things worse. So we kind of have to contend with that as well. I think it's going to be fine, though. I think we have enough good blocks here that it's not a big deal. So Darius is a very, very interesting thing for them to put down here. I would be worried if we didn't have this.
You're the one hiding behind a mask.
I really would be worried if we didn't have Flash Freeze. But we do, so I'm just going to put down a Starlight Seer, which will actually power up something in our deck when we play our Frostbite. So all good there. They have to come in with Darius. They're not going to not come in with Darius here. Like, that's just common sense. So we'll go there. We'll go... there.
Any trouble?
We'll go there.
We'll teach you.
There, Frostbite, Darius. And this is great, because Darius gets no overwhelm damage, and Zed kills him. Unless they've got a trick. They could, but I doubt it. They did get a beefy boy for that, but there's really nothing we can do about that other than take the damage. And we're too low on health right now to just eat damage. I'd say that was a pretty good trade. I would say that is an exceptional trade. Nice Scuttle Guys play there, and a Precious Pet. So they're boarding up now because they realize they're in a precarious position here. We do have the potential to finish this round if things go our way. Doesn't look like that's really going to happen here, but we do basically get to kill 2 of their units and get in for 4 damage. We could Solitary Monk at the end of the turn, but I don't like the idea of recalling all of our units at this particular time. We will probably Inspiring Mentor, though, just to put another beefy boy on the board, because he's actually pretty beefy now. He's a 4/5. That's a pretty beefy boy right there. And the reality is that they're going to lose a couple of things here. We're still not going to get Zed to level 2. We are going to get 4 more damage. Puts us only 2 damage away from the... Oh, wow, we're going to get 9 more damage. Okay, so we're very, very close to winning the game now. And I think we'll go for Inspiring Mentor. Obviously, we'll put it on Solitary Monk because we don't have anything else. If we needed to, at the end of the next turn, we could play Solitary Monk and go in, but that's a very all-in strategy, and I'll only do that if they kill our Conspirator on their turn. If they kill our Conspirator or our Zed, I'll definitely go for the Solitary Monk win, but otherwise we don't need that. And we do have the ability to draw now, which is actually very, very nice. I think we're in a decent spot to win this. They're also in a very decent spot to win this, though. They have the mana if they wanted to do like a Reckoning and kill our entire board. So it's a very interesting matchup right now. What you got? What is this? Oh, Brood Awakening. Okay, that I'm actually fine with. In fact, in response to that, we'll just go ahead and Barrier here to draw a card. And that'll cause Starlit Seer to trigger again. We'll Sown Seeds here. Get another trigger. Okay. Get your spiders. Get your spooters on the board. All we have to do is chump appropriately here and we're fine. Like, unless they have something to increase damage, we're not dying here. Alright. So we can chump here to kill that. We can chump here to reduce the damage and kill that, which will make it stronger in the long run, but we don't really have a better option. And then we essentially eat 6 if we don't chump one of these guys. So I guess that the ultimate play here is to bank on this solitary monk.
You call that sneaky?
I really do think that's the ultimate play here. We're just gonna bank on the solitary monk. We'll trade most of our board, which is fine because we're gonna solitary monk and then go in for lethal next turn. Okay. Welcome to my lethal. And it has barrier, so even if they had a damage spell here, they couldn't kill it. If they have vengeance, though, we're just done. But very few people run vengeance because it's such a high mana cost card, so I think we're probably okay. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. That is not gonna do it. This is game. Okay, here we go. Lethal. Lethal, do we got it? We got it. Alright, so not bad. 3 out of 4 today. We did actually get through 4 games, which just speaks to the speed of the deck in general. Very, very happy with the outcomes here. I was not expecting this deck to do this well. I just kind of threw this together based on that quest deck yesterday, and it was like, So, beautiful job from In the Shadows there. Again, I will put a deck code in the comments. Yeah, I'll pin a comment with the deck code if you guys want to check it out yourself. And that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!